Turning our attention to the opposing view, I'm joined by Alex Schadenberg from the Euthanasia Prevention Coalition. And Alex, you just heard Dr. Nietzsche on his view. What is your opinion of that?
Well, I think Dr. Nietzsche has a very radical point of view. Like, Dr. Nietzsche believes in not only providing information, as he would maybe say in one sense, but he believes in actually directly aiding people to end their lives. He's really involved in that. He not only he has this counseling service he does, he provides information, he's got his books, but further to that he provides these regulators for the helium machines in order to directly cause people's death. You have to understand, Nietzsche's also not concerned about the political ramifications, the vulnerability of people, and all these issues. He really believes that you should just simply be able to end your life at the time of your choosing. And
that is the core of the debate in Canada. Why shouldn't someone be allowed to do that?
Well, the question is we like to ask this question, think of it in the suicide sort of context, but we're not talking about suicide, because this isn't about me just ending my life. It's about somebody else directly and intentionally causing my death. This is about a physician or somebody else who's either injecting me or doing something to cause my death. And in the case of assisted suicide, it's somebody else who's helping me. They're aiding me to kill myself.
And you know, that is the strong argument. People are saying, when I cannot have the capacity to use my own hand to do it, I want your hand to do it. What's wrong with that?
So what they're wanting to say is that a physician should be also involved in as being a direct killer. That's what they're saying. And if you change your physician from being a caregiver, and that being their role, to being also a killer, the question is, can you ever fully trust the physician? Some physicians, of course, and many of them, will never ever do such an act. They will just say, that is just wrong, I will not be involved in that. But many of them will become involved in it. And the fact is once they start doing this for one person and then another person, the act of actually directly causing someone's death starts becoming easier.
Okay, help us understand euthanasia as the bill is, you know, making its way through Parliament. Mind you, a private member's bill. What is it asking for?
Well, Bill C-384, we anticipate it will be dead. That's how we see it. Because the fact is it will directly and intentionally cause someone's death, is what it's about. It's about euthanasia and assisted suicide for people who are either physically or mentally having difficulties, someone who's in physical pain or mental pain or terminally ill. So what it's saying is people with disabilities or people with chronic depression or people who are terminally ill could die by euthanasia.
Is this coming down to a question of worldview? Obviously, as a Christian, I am against it, but not everybody is. Not everybody has got my worldview.
Well, I think we have to define really what we're talking about. If you ask Canadians, you know, are you concerned about if you were in such pain and well, then they usually answer yes. But if you say to them, do you think we should give doctors the direct and intentional right to cause your death? They think a little bit about that. And this is really what it's about. You know, people think of this as a suicide debate. Should I have the right to take my own life? But it's not about you taking your own life, it's about somebody taking your life. It's a big question, and it's very difficult. Further to that, what about the more vulnerable in our society? You know, what about people who truly are dependent on others? And this is a difficult area, because when you become more dependent on others, then obviously speaking, you're also more influenced by the subtle pressure of others. And you have to understand that when you become very vulnerable and dependent on others, sometimes decisions are made that you would have never made otherwise.
So it is a retreat from the message of hope and encouragement for people.
Well, I absolutely believe we need to care for people, not kill them. I believe society should be absolutely focused on how we care for people who are dying. It's absolutely correct. When someone says to me, yes, but my mother suffered so greatly. Oh, I agree. That is terrible that that happened, and that should not be happening. Also, when people with disabilities say, I feel like I'm treated like a second-class citizen, I'm concerned about them.
Alex Schadenberg, thank you very much.
Thank you.
With the Euthanasia Prevention Coalition. When we come back, is euthanasia a moral issue or a medical issue? The Canadian Catholic Bioethics Institute weighs in. Next.